All right, so you're ready to trade in that old toolbox for a brand new career.
We're diving deep into the world of building caretaker interviews today.
Using RoleCatcher as our guide, of course.
We'll unpack how to show you're not just handy, but the heartbeat any building would be lucky to have.
Okay, so let's jump right in with RoleCatcher's top interview questions. Question 1 feels like a friendly handshake. How did you become interested in the role of a building caretaker?
It seems simple, but there's an art to answering this one effectively.
Because it can't be as easy as saying, I like to fix things.
Right. It's about connecting with the interviewer, showing them the why this work resonates with you on a deeper level.
So instead of just listing skills, I need to paint a picture.
Exactly. Think about what drew you to this field.
Was it a childhood memory? A passion for problem solving?
RoleCatcher's sample response mentions ensuring a building runs smoothly. But take it a step further. What makes you tick?
I like that. It's about showcasing those personal qualities, the things that make you a good fit beyond just ticking boxes.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can give you a real edge.
AI. For interview prep, tell me more.
Imagine typing your response and having it analyzed based on the job description.
So it's giving me feedback like a personal coach.
Exactly. It can pick up on keywords that resonate with that specific employer.
That's amazing. So it's tailoring my answer to each specific job I'm applying for.
Right. Let's say they're looking for experience with HVAC systems. The AI might suggest you highlight that even if it wasn't the core of your previous role.
That's incredibly helpful. It's like having a secret weapon.
Ah,
Okay, so we've aced the first impression. Let's move on to question 2. RoleCatcher dives into the daily grind with, how do you prioritize your tasks on a daily basis?
yes. Because a building caretaker's to-do list never really ends, does it?
Right. It feels like a juggling act with work orders flying in from every direction.
Exactly. And they want to see you can handle that chaos with a cool head.
So they're not just looking for someone who can fix a leaky faucet. They need someone who can manage their time and prioritize effectively.
Right. RoleCatcher's sample response talks about a structured approach, starting with urgent requests, then prioritizing by importance and deadline.
But it's also about showcasing what makes me a master prioritizer. Maybe I use a specific app or have a system for keeping track of everything.
Exactly. Those real-world examples bring your organizational skills to life.
Again, RoleCatcher's AI can provide that extra layer of feedback right.
You got it. Let's say you describe a time you handled multiple emergency repairs at once. The AI can analyze whether the job description prioritizes quick thinking or meticulous planning.
And then it suggests tweaks to my answer to better align with what they're looking for.
Exactly. It's like having a personalized roadmap for each interview.
This is amazing. Okay, question 3 time to roll up our sleeves. RoleCatcher asks, can you describe your experience with basic maintenance tasks, such as plumbing and electrical work?
This is your chance to shine. Show them you're not just handy, but truly skilled.
So instead of saying, I've fixed a few leaky faucets in my time, I should be more specific.
Exactly. Quantify it. I've repaired over 10 faucets, identifying the root cause each time.
And I can tell you the difference between a ball cock and a float valve.
Now you're talking. It's about experience, but also that proactive mindset.
Showing them I'm not just slapping on a Band-Aid solution, I'm in it for the long haul.
And what about those areas where your experience might be a little light?
Like, let's say I'm great with plumbing, but haven't done much electrical work.
Honesty is key, but you can spin it positively?
Something like, while my electrical experience is primarily residential, I'm eager to learn.
Exactly. Show them you're not intimidated by a challenge and are ready to grow.
And this is another opportunity for RoleCatcher's AI to work its magic right.
Absolutely. It can analyze those job descriptions to see which skills are most important.
So if electrical work is a major focus, it'll tell me to highlight any relevant certifications.
Even if you haven't had tons of on-the-job experience yet.
It's like having a personalized guide for crafting the perfect response. This is incredible. We've covered some great ground already, but I'm ready to dive into those curveball questions. What do you say we take a quick breather? You ready to jump back into the hot seat?
Let's do it.
All right, so RoleCatcher's question 4 throws us a curveball. How do you handle emergency situations such as floods or power outages?
Because, let's be honest, buildings love a good crisis.
Right, it's like they know when to throw those wrenches in the works.
Exactly, and they want to see you can stay calm under pressure.
So it's not just about fixing the problem. It's about having a process.
Exactly. RoleCatcher mentions prioritizing safety following protocols.
Right, making sure everyone's safe first and foremost.
But think about what makes you a strong leader in a crisis.
So I could talk about a time I helped evacuate a building, even if it was just a fire drill. It shows I can handle the pressure.
Absolutely. Real-world examples are key here.
And this feels like another area where RoleCatcher's AI can provide some insight.
Definitely. The AI can analyze the job description for potential emergencies.
So like if it's a coastal property, I should brush up on my flood response.
Exactly. It's about tailoring your experience to the specific environment.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Moving on to question 5. How do you ensure the safety and security of the building and its occupants?
This one's big. It's about being proactive, not just reactive.
So not just waiting for the alarm bells to go off. I need to be one step ahead.
Right. RoleCatcher talks about regular inspections, checking safety equipment.
Being vigilant, looking out for potential hazards before they become big problems.
Exactly. But go a step further. Do you have experience with security systems?
Or implementing visitor protocols, conducting fire drills.
It's about that comprehensive approach, showing them you're on top of it.
And don't be afraid to draw on those experiences from other areas of your life, right?
Absolutely. Were you the safety officer in a previous role?
It's all about connecting those dots, showing them you're not just a handyman.
You're a guardian of the building and its people.
Love it. And of course, RoleCatcher's AI can help highlight those connections.
For sure. If the job description mentions security, the AI might suggest. You mention your experience with a specific system they use.
Talk about attention to detail. That could definitely give you an edge. Okay, question 6 takes a bit of a turn. How do you maintain positive relationships with tenants and other building occupants?
Because a building is more than just bricks and mortar, right?
It's about the people who live and work there.
Right. You need to be able to interact with them, build those relationships.
So it's not enough to just fix a leaky faucet. I need to be able to empathize with the tenant.
Exactly. RoleCatcher mentions clear communication and prompt responses.
Making people feel heard and understood, even if you can't solve the problem immediately.
Exactly. But what makes you someone people feel comfortable approaching?
Maybe I make it a point to learn everyone's names or explain things in a way that's easy to understand.
Those are great examples. It's about being approachable and creating a positive atmosphere.
And what about those times when you have to deliver bad news?
Like a rent increase or a delayed repair, those can be tricky.
That's where those communication skills really come into play.
Exactly. Be honest, be transparent, offer solutions whenever possible.
Even if it's just saying, I understand your frustration and I'm doing everything I can.
Right. It's about managing expectations and finding ways to soften the blow.
And this feels like another opportunity for RoleCatcher's AI to step in.
Definitely. By analyzing the company culture, the AI can suggest ways to tailor your communication style.
So if they're all about building community, I should highlight my experience with resident events.
Exactly. It's about showing them you'd be a good fit for their specific environment.
Okay, this is great stuff. But we're not done yet. We still got a few more questions to unpack. Let's do it.
All right, question 7 from RoleCatcher takes us into the legal realm. How do you ensure that the building complies with all relevant regulations and codes?
Okay, now you're speaking my language. I love a good building code.
I bet. But don't worry, they're not expecting you to have them all memorized.
Right, because that would be a lot of codes.
Exactly. It's about showing them you're aware of those regulations and committed to staying informed.
So it's about having a system for keeping up to date with any changes.
Right. RoleCatcher sample response mentions familiarizing yourself with local codes, but how would you go above and beyond?
Well, I've attended some workshops on fire safety and accessibility standards, and I always make it a point to check in with the city about any new ordinances.
Those are great examples. It shows you're proactive, not just reactive.
Exactly. I'm not just fixing problems, I'm preventing them.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful. Let's say the job description mentions a historical building. The AI might suggest you highlight your knowledge of preservation guidelines.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like having a customized study guide for each interview. Okay, on to question 8. How do you manage and train other building maintenance staff?
This one might sound like it's just for senior positions, but it's really about assessing your leadership potential.
So even if I haven't officially managed a team before, I can still talk about those times when I've taken initiative or mentored others.
Exactly. RoleCatcher's sample answer talks about sharing knowledge and being a team player.
Right, because even in a maintenance role, there are always opportunities to step up and lead.
Exactly. Think about those times you've gone above and beyond. Maybe you trained a new hire on a piece of equipment, or helped a colleague troubleshoot a tricky repair.
Those are all great examples of leadership in action, even if it wasn't in a formal management capacity.
Right. And RoleCatcher's AI can help you emphasize those skills even further. If the job description mentions teamwork, The AI might suggest you highlight your experience collaborating on group projects.
Okay, we're on the final question. Time to bring it home.
All right, let's do it. Question 9. How do you manage budgets and expenses for building maintenance?
Now you're speaking my language. I'm all about finding those cost-effective solutions.
I knew you were. RoleCatcher's sample response talks about being mindful of budgets and prioritizing preventative maintenance to avoid costly repairs down the road.
Right, because a little bit of prevention can save a lot of money in the long run.
Exactly. But think about how you can showcase your financial savvy even further.
Well, in my previous role, I implemented a new system for tracking maintenance expenses. It helped us identify areas where we could cut costs without sacrificing quality.
That's a fantastic example. It shows them you're thinking about the bottom line and not just throwing money at every problem that comes your way.
Exactly. I'm all about finding those creative solutions that benefit everyone.
That's the spirit. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you quantify those successes. So you can say something like, my cost-saving measures resulted in X% reduction in expenses.
That's a powerful way to make a lasting impression. Wow, this deep dive has been incredibly insightful. I feel much more prepared to tackle those building caretaker interviews now.
I'm glad to hear it. Remember, preparation is key. Use these insights from RoleCatcher, explore their AI tools, and don't be afraid to let your passion and experience shine through.
That's a wrap on today's deep dive into the world of building caretaker interviews. We're rooting for you. Good luck out there.